The hook, awakening the listener. My friend, pause for a moment. Before we begin this journey together, I invite you to take a deep breath. Inhale slowly, exhale gently. Feel the weight of the world resting on your shoulders, and for just this moment, let it go. We live in a world that glorifies speed, constant activity, and endless achievement. From the time we wake up in the morning until we close our eyes at night, we are pulled into a cycle of doing, and doing. And yet, despite all this effort, how many of us feel truly fulfilled? How many of us can say with honesty that we are at peace inside? Everywhere around you, the world whispers the same message. If you're not moving, you're losing. If you're not working harder, you'll be left behind. We scroll through social media and see people flaunting their achievements, their busy schedules, their endless hustles. And inside, a voice whispers, I must do more. I must be more. But let me ask you, has this constant striving ever given you lasting joy? Has running faster ever brought you closer to peace? You see, there is a great illusion at work. We are taught that success is only for those who hustle the hardest, who sacrifice rest, who never pause. And so, we force ourselves into overdrive, believing that if we just push a little more, if we just fight a little harder, happiness will finally be within reach. But here's the truth that few dare to speak. Sometimes the most powerful step forward is to stop moving altogether. Sometimes the path to success is hidden not in action, but in inaction. Consider this. A bowstring cannot remain stretched forever, or it will snap. A river does not rage endlessly. It flows, it pauses, it bends, and yet it reaches the ocean. Even the heart, the very center of life, beats with a rhythm of contraction and release. Without the pause, there can be no life. So why do we believe that our own lives can be built without pause? When you dare to stop, even for a moment, you create space. In that space, clarity emerges. In that space, your soul whispers truths you cannot hear in the noise of constant doing. In that space, life begins to reveal its deeper meaning. The paradox is beautiful. Sometimes by doing nothing, you gain everything. So as we begin this journey, I invite you to challenge the beliefs you've carried for so long. Question the idea that hustle alone equals success. Open your heart to a new possibility, that the truth about success is not always in striving, but sometimes in surrender. Not always in action, but sometimes in inaction. Take this moment as a sacred pause. Breathe, listen, be present. For what you are about to discover may change the way you see success forever. The illusion of endless striving. From the moment we are children, we are taught to equate our worth with achievement. In school, the child who studies the longest is praised. In sports, the one who trains the hardest is celebrated. As we grow, this conditioning becomes stronger. Work more hours, earn more money, climb higher on the ladder, and then, only then, will you be considered successful. We are surrounded by this belief, so much so that we rarely stop to question it. Think about the way most people live today. Wake up early, rush to work, push through meetings, chase deadlines, come home late, scroll through endless notifications, then collapse into bed, only to repeat the same cycle tomorrow. From the outside, it looks like productivity. But on the inside, many feel drained, disconnected, and unsatisfied. This is the illusion of endless striving. It keeps you busy, but it does not make you whole. Have you ever noticed how exhaustion has become a status symbol? People proudly say, I barely slept last night, or I haven't taken a vacation in years, as if burnout is proof of their importance. But what good is success if you sacrifice your peace, your relationships, even your health along the way? You may be climbing high, but are you climbing the right mountain? Endless striving is like running on a treadmill. You move fast, your heart pounds, sweat pours down, but when you stop, you realize you're still in the same place. You may have collected paychecks, promotions, or possessions, but deep inside, you may still feel restless, empty, searching. Why? Because hustle alone cannot fill the void of the soul. The soul does not thrive on speed, it thrives on meaning. Look around and you'll see countless examples. The businessman who works day and night but feels lonely in his mansion. The student who scores the highest marks but loses touch with joy. The parent who provides everything materially but has no energy left for love. This is the price of blind striving. It gives you things but takes away your essence. The illusion is dangerous because it convinces us that doing more is always the answer. If you are unhappy, you tell yourself you must work harder. If you feel unworthy, you believe you must achieve more. But the truth is, no amount of more will ever be enough if you are running in the wrong direction. Success is not about adding weight to your shoulders. It is about aligning with your purpose. Nature itself proves this. A tree does not grow taller because it strains every second. It grows because it stays rooted and allows the seasons to nourish it. A river does not force itself forward. It flows. The moon does not hustle to shine, yet it lights up the night sky. Life has rhythm, balance, and pause. And when we forget this, we fall into the illusion of endless striving. So pause now and reflect. Are you truly progressing, or are you just moving faster? Are you living with purpose, or are you simply caught in motion? Remember, the illusion of striving will keep you running forever. But the truth of success begins when you dare to stop and see clearly. The power hidden in stillness. When people hear the phrase, "do nothing," they often misunderstand it. They imagine laziness, idleness, or wasted time. But true inaction, the stillness we are speaking of, is not laziness at all. It is a higher form of action, a conscious choice to step back, to surrender, and to allow a deeper intelligence to guide you. Think of the seed resting quietly in the soil. On the surface, it looks as if nothing is happening, but beneath the ground, in the silence, an extraordinary transformation is taking place. Roots are spreading, life is stirring, potential is unfolding. Without this period of stillness, the seed could never become a tree. And in the same way, without moments of inaction, your soul cannot unfold into its true greatness. Our culture teaches us to believe that if we are not busy, we are falling behind. But stillness is not falling behind. It is reconnecting with the source. When you pause, when you stop rushing, your mind becomes clear, your heart becomes calm, and your spirit begins to whisper truths that constant noise drowns out. How many times have you had your best ideas, not while struggling at your desk, but while walking in nature, while sitting quietly, or even while doing nothing at all? That is the power of stillness. It opens the door to clarity. Even science confirms this. When the brain is not actively focused on a task, it enters what is called the default mode network. This is the state where creativity sparks, insights emerge, and connections form. In other words, your greatest breakthroughs often come not when you are pushing harder, but when you are letting go. The spiritual masters of history understood this deeply. They withdrew into solitude not to escape life, but to connect more fully with it. They knew that true wisdom does not come from restless activity, but from stillness. Buddha's enlightenment came in silence beneath the Bodhi tree. The Prophet Muhammad received revelation in the quiet of the cave. Jesus found strength in the stillness of the wilderness. Their stillness was not weakness. It was the birthplace of their strength. And here is the paradox. By embracing stillness, you actually become more powerful in action. Just as an archer must pull back the bow before releasing the arrow, you too must withdraw into stillness before unleashing your greatest impact. The pause does not delay your journey, it fuels it. Without it, your actions are scattered, shallow, and weak. With it, your actions become focused, intentional, and unstoppable. So the next time you feel the urge to keep pushing, remember, the universe itself moves in rhythms of action and rest, creation and renewal. Day turns into night, the tide rises and falls, the breath flows in and out. You are part of this rhythm. Success does not come from fighting against it. It comes from flowing with it. The power hidden in stillness is this. It connects you to your deepest self and to the infinite source of life. And from that place of silence, every step you take will be guided, every action will have meaning, and every dream will begin to unfold naturally. Lessons from the Masters. Throughout history, some of the greatest awakenings, revelations, and teachings have not come in moments of endless effort, but in moments of profound stillness. The lives of spiritual masters remind us again and again that doing nothing is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the gateway through which truth enters the human heart. Consider the Buddha. For years, he sought enlightenment through extreme practices, fasting, meditation without rest, and pushing his body to the edge of death. He believed that only through endless effort and suffering could truth be found. But enlightenment did not come in those years of striving. It came when he surrendered to silence, sitting quietly beneath the Bodhi tree. In that sacred stillness, wisdom flowed into him, and he saw life as it truly is. His greatest awakening was not the result of endless action, but of being fully present in the stillness of a single moment. Look at the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Before his mission began, he would withdraw from the noise of Mecca into the quiet cave of Hira. It was there, in solitude and silence, that revelation came. Not while bargaining in the market, not while rushing through the city, but in a place of stillness where his heart was open to receive divine guidance. That stillness changed the course of history forever. Jesus too often sought solitude. Surrounded by crowds, demands, and expectations, he would retreat into the wilderness or up a mountain, not to escape, but to renew. In those silent moments of prayer, he found strength to heal, to teach, to love, and to lead. His greatest miracles were born from a heart rooted in stillness, not consumed by hurry. And this pattern is not limited to prophets. Throughout the East, sages, monks, and mystics have understood the secret of stillness. The yogis of India withdrew into caves and forests, not to run from life, but to touch its essence. The Zen monks of Japan practiced silence and meditation, learning that a single mindful breath could reveal more than 1,000 books. The Shaolin masters found discipline and strength not only in movement, but in sitting still like a mountain, calm and unshakable. Even in philosophy, great thinkers knew this truth. Socrates would wander in thought, lost in silence, until clarity struck. Newton's theory of gravity was born not in a laboratory filled with noise, but while sitting quietly under a tree. Einstein often spoke of imagination and creativity arising when he allowed his mind to wander freely, not when he forced it under pressure. The lesson is clear. Silence is not emptiness. It is a vessel filled with wisdom, waiting to be discovered. Stillness is not wasted time. It is the birthplace of clarity, creativity, and divine connection. The masters teach us that sometimes the greatest act of courage is to stop striving, to stop forcing, to stop running, and to simply be. For in that stillness, you align yourself with something larger than your own will. You align with truth, with wisdom, with the flow of the universe itself. And if the greatest teachers, prophets, and sages found power in doing nothing, then perhaps the real question is this: are you willing to stop long enough to discover the same power within yourself, the practice of pausing? Inspiration alone is not enough. Knowing the value of stillness is one thing, but experiencing it is another. The real transformation happens when you bring this wisdom into your daily life, when you turn stillness into practice. The truth is, you do not need to go to a monastery, climb a mountain, or escape from the world to taste the power of doing nothing. You can begin right here, right now, in the middle of your ordinary life. Start small. Each day, set aside just a few minutes to pause. It could be in the morning before the rush of the day begins, or at night when the world is quiet. Find a comfortable place, close your eyes, and simply breathe. Do not try to control your thoughts. Do not try to achieve anything. Allow yourself to just sit, to simply be. At first, your mind may resist. It will wander. It will create noise. It will urge you to get up and do something. But this is natural. The practice of pausing is not about stopping thoughts. It is about learning to observe them without being carried away. As you make this a daily ritual, something subtle begins to shift. The noise of the mind starts to settle, like mud sinking to the bottom of a glass of water. Slowly, the water becomes clear, and you can finally see through it. In the same way, your inner vision becomes clearer when you allow yourself moments of stillness. You can also practice pausing in the middle of your day. Before an important decision, take a breath. Instead of reacting in anger, pause and allow the emotion to pass through you. When walking, slow down and notice the ground beneath your feet. When eating, chew slowly, tasting each bite instead of rushing. These small pauses anchor you in the present moment, turning ordinary actions into mindful practices. The practice of pausing is not limited to meditation. It is a way of living. It is the art of creating space, between stimulus and response, between noise and clarity, between pressure and peace. And in that space, life reveals its wisdom. Think of an archer. Before releasing the arrow, he must hold still, steady his hand, breathe deeply. That pause gives his action accuracy. Think of a musician. Silence between notes creates music. Without it, there is only noise. In the same way, pausing in your own life gives meaning, direction, and beauty to your actions. Make pausing sacred. Protect those moments as you would protect your health, your relationships, your dreams. For without rest, your body collapses. Without stillness, your soul grows weary. The practice of pausing is not a luxury, it is a necessity. And the more you practice, the more you will discover that doing nothing is not wasted time. It is renewal, it is alignment, it is preparation for the steps that truly matter. In stillness, your actions will find power. In silence, your words will find weight. In pausing, your life will find balance. So begin today. Pause, breathe, and be. In this simple practice lies the doorway to the success your soul has been longing for. The closing inspiration. As we arrive at the final step of this journey, I invite you once more to pause. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the silence around you and within you. Remember where we began, with the illusion that life must always be a race, that success only comes to those who never stop moving. But now, you see the deeper truth. Success is not always about more effort, more hustle, more exhaustion. Sometimes the greatest success is hidden in the moments when you do nothing at all. When you pause, you are not falling behind. You are aligning with life's natural rhythm. You are stepping out of the noise and into the wisdom of silence. The world may call it inaction, but in reality it is the highest form of action. The action of allowing, the action of trusting, the action of being. Think about how you feel when you rest after a long day. In that pause, your strength returns. Think about the clarity that comes after a quiet walk, or the peace you feel when you simply sit under the sky. These are not wasted moments. They are the moments where your soul reconnects with its true self. And when you return to action after such stillness, your steps carry more power, more purpose, more light. The truth about success is simple, yet profound. It is not measured only by how much you do, but by how deeply you are connected to who you are. Hustle may bring temporary rewards, but stillness awakens eternal wisdom. Hustle may fill your hands with things, but stillness fills your heart with peace. Hustle may win you applause, but stillness connects you to the divine, to something far greater than yourself. So as you step forward from here, carry this lesson with you. Do not be afraid to pause. Do not be afraid to rest. Do not be afraid to stop and listen. For it is in those pauses that life speaks most clearly. It is in those pauses that you discover not only success, but meaning. Imagine a life where you no longer chase endlessly, but allow life to flow to you. Imagine a life where your worth is not tied to constant doing, but to your presence, your peace, your connection with the infinite. That life is not a dream. It is available to you right now if you choose to embrace stillness. So let this be your reminder. Sometimes you must do nothing, and in that nothing, you will find everything. Stop running for a moment. Step into the silence. Trust the pause. Because in that sacred stillness lies the greatest success of all. The awakening of your soul, the clarity of your path, and the peace that no hustle can ever give you. The closing inspiration. As we arrive at the final step of this journey, I invite you once more to pause. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the silence around you and within you. Remember where we began, with the illusion that life must always be a race, that success only comes to those who never stop moving. But now, you see the deeper truth. Success is not always about more effort, more hustle, more exhaustion. Sometimes the greatest success is hidden in the moments when you do nothing at all. When you pause, you are not falling behind. You are aligning with life's natural rhythm. You are stepping out of the noise and into the wisdom of silence. The world may call it inaction, but in reality it is the highest form of action. The action of allowing, the action of trusting, the action of being. Think about how you feel when you rest after a long day. In that pause, your strength returns. Think about the clarity that comes after a quiet walk, or the peace you feel when you simply sit under the sky. These are not wasted moments. They are the moments where your soul reconnects with its true self. And when you return to action after such stillness, your steps carry more power, more purpose, more light. The truth about success is simple, yet profound. It is not measured only by how much you do, but by how deeply you are connected to who you are. Hustle may bring temporary rewards, but stillness awakens eternal wisdom. Hustle may fill your hands with things, but stillness fills your heart with peace. Hustle may win you applause, but stillness connects you to the divine, to something far greater than yourself. So as you step forward from here, carry this lesson with you. Do not be afraid to pause. Do not be afraid to rest. Do not be afraid to stop and listen. For it is in those pauses that life speaks most clearly. It is in those pauses that you discover not only success, but meaning. Imagine a life where you no longer chase endlessly, but allow life to flow to you. Imagine a life where your worth is not tied to constant doing, but to your presence, your peace, your connection with the infinite. That life is not a dream. It is available to you right now if you choose to embrace stillness. So let this be your reminder. Sometimes you must do nothing, and in that nothing, you will find everything. Stop running for a moment. Step into the silence. Trust the pause. Because in that sacred stillness lies the greatest success of all. The awakening of your soul, the clarity of your path, and the peace that no hustle can ever give you.